Alright guys, welcome back to Take Two Toy Review. Sorry I haven't done one of these in a while. Things have been kind of busy, and I actually started a new channel over on YouTube, Masters of the Gorillaverse. Make sure y'all go check that out. But today we'll be taking a look at Mattel's 8th Anniversary He-Man and Skeletor 2-pack. So you see here, it comes in an amazing box. We have both figures that are displayed. On the back side of it, it says Evil Skeletor's ruthlessly schemes to take control of Castle Grayskull, but He-Man guards the safety of all Eternia, his faithful allies, at his side. So these figures are molded after the 1982 original figures. Same points of articulation, and all that good fun stuff. You see down here, it has the call to action. You can twist a waist, and he springs back with a punch. Combine the swords to form the power sword, and of course, vintage style squishy heads. Only two figures in this line. Of course, you have He-Man and Skeletor. Down here at the very bottom, it says, celebrate 80 years on Mattel's with Masters of the Universe, eternal struggle of good versus evil with this vintage style He-Man and Skeletor featuring classic power punch action. Got this for my birthday last week. Wife and kids very generous to get this for me. But let's pop these open and go on back to 1982 and relive the childhood, shall we? All right, so when unboxing this, first thing you want to do is you want to take off this Mattel's 80th anniversary, I guess you could say little belt you can see there. And that there is going to reveal both figures. This here does open up to a very, very nice display. Over here on this side, you have a picture of Skeletor standing atop of Snake Mountain. And then on the other side, you have a picture of He-Man in front of Castle Grayskull. So, you have to open up this little piece here, which is removable. Go ahead and take that out. And there you have He-Man and Skeletor in their vintage style packaging. All right, here they are out of the box. One thing I will say about Skeletor that I'm a little disappointed in is if you notice all the promo pictures for this, Skeletor had a lot more paint detail on his chest armor, which he does not have here. That is 100% fine. Just really kind of a letdown when you get it in hand. So don't be expecting all the extra paint decor on his chest. But anyways, so let's take a look at He-Man first. We're going to go ahead and set Skeletor off to the side. Now, one thing I really like about these is they do have the collector-friendly card back, which just kind of pulls out of the back. It has little slits here. You see that a lot on the Mattel Creation exclusive figures that they know people are going to want to put back in the package to display. So the first thing that comes with the figure is a replica of one of the classic mini comics. This one is Battle in the Clouds, and you have He-Man and Merman fighting on top of Wind Raider. You have a sky sled over there. So very, very nice. These are high quality mini comics, so very high quality paper, which that I do like. On the back of He-Man, of course, it does have this little plastic prism that you can pull him out of like so. So these are twist tied in, so you will have to get the twist ties off the hands and off of the legs. So let's go ahead and pop He-Man. I'm sorry for the plastic noises. So here is He-Man. Absolutely amazing. He's standing a little bit more upright than I recall. I think one of the reasons is I don't think he has the elastic bands in the waist. I think he actually has the pegs. Really nice paint decor on his wrist bracers, on his belt. A little more paint application on the boots. I think normally on the original He-Mans they were just one color, if I remember correctly. But here it has the straps that are painted different color. Classic He-Man harness here, of course, on the back. You do have that squishy head that they were talking about, and of course my personal favorite, get the arms out of the way, he does have that punching action. So that's really, really cool. Nice glossy paint and molding here on his chest harness. Everything looks really, really nice. So now, of course, let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories. First and foremost, He-Man does come with his shield. Similar design. Simply put his hand in there, clip it over his wrist. Like I was saying, you simply just feed his hand through the handle, clip it over his wrist, and now He-Man has a hold of his shield. Of course, He-Man also comes with his battle axe, like so. And this is taking me right back to my childhood. I love it. And then, of course, you know, you cannot have He-Man without his power sword. It does come in the two halves, which is really cool, I think. Of course, on the original one, he does not have a holster, so you just simply put it through the back of his armor like that. And now He-Man can walk around with his sword in his shield. So, very, very cool. Thank you to my wife and my kids for getting me this for my birthday. Love you, baby. Okay, good. All right, so now we're taking a look at He-Man. Let's go ahead and take a look at Skeletor. All right, guys, here is Skeletor. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to take a look at the mini comic that comes with him. This is the Vengeance of Skeletor. Here you have He-Man battling some sea serpent down there in the depths of the ocean. So I'm not going to go through the entire comics. I don't want to spoil it for those of you who don't have this yet or are currently waiting on it. But again, just a really, really nice addition. Them keeping the tradition alive of the mini comics. So here's Skeletor. So one thing I will say is this definitely does have some more paint decor than the original Skeletor, though not what was shown on the packaging. So first off, you do have some metallic purple down here on the toes. A little more paint decor in his armor with the different colored purples and stuff like that, which I do like. I do like the fact that they kept the purple, I'm sorry, not the purple, the pink, well, I guess pink and purple around his face. Very, very reminiscent of the classic Skeletor. And of course, you know, he has a little loincloth here, his chest armor, all done up in the vintage style, put it on. I do notice, though, that they added a little bit more to the back of his boot. So if you remember the original Skeletor, he only had like half a boot where the back was still that light blue color that he is. But here it goes all the way around and has a little bit more molding on the back of his leg, which is pretty cool. Take a look here at the Havoc Staff. Very, very classic Havoc Staff done in a classic purple mold, nice and shiny, which I do like. And he does, of course, get a nice grip on that as well. And then moving on to his half of the power sword, molded in the same purple that was done in the Havoc Staff in his armor. So it's very, very nice. Again, does it fit in the back of his armor? It does fit. How does it fit in his hand, though? Let's take a look at this. Very, very nice. Now, how do y'all display your Skeletor? Do you have it to where the handguard is on the outside of his hand? Do you have it to where it is on the inside of the hand when he's holding it? Or do you put it in his other hand and wrap? I cannot hang on to nothing today. Or do you put the sword in his open hand and kind of bend? Oh, this one you really can't. I know on the original one, the sword would fit in his other hand. And you kind of stretch it across so you could hold it like that, kind of like that. Or do y'all display yours like this? Personally, I do mine. If I'm gonna have him holding the sword, I put the sword in his right gripping hand and just bend it across like that. Like that. All right, so, of course, the other cool thing about getting both He-Man and Skeletor is that you get both halves of the power sword. How do these clip together? Clip together very, very well. So if you remember the old Golden books and the old mini comics, Skeletor had one half of the power sword, He-Man had one half of the power sword, and whoever got both halves could then access Castle Grayskull. So I like that they did that. Very, very cool. My He-Man sword is a little warped from the package, but that is okay. A little bit of hot water will straighten that right out. So, but yeah, guys, that's Skeletor. All right, guys, and there is my Masters of the Universe 80th Anniversary Mattel 2-pack. So I'm going to say this. I am going to be displaying mine back in the packages. So the Havoc staff does have a twist tie on it. So if you don't have something to tie that back into place with, the Havoc staff is going to be loose in package. So be very, very careful of that. So I just put a simple silver bread tie up there to put it back in place. One thing I forgot to mention earlier that I thought was really cool is if you put these back to back, you get a nice little battle scene. Very reminiscent of the one that's on the front of the original box. So I think that's really cool. You got Tila, Man-at-Arms. You got a little lizard there, Castle Grayskull, of course, He-Man and Skeletor here in the foreground. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, guys, that is my review on He-Man and Skeletor. If you haven't done so yet, please make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good fun stuff. Ring the bell for notifications. I am going to be trying to do some more of these on the Masterverse figures and such as time goes on. But we just became grandparents for the second time, so we're very, very busy with the babies. And then, you know, the holidays is coming up, so I'm going to try to get more videos out there. No promises, but I'm going to try to do my best. Anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by, and until next time, I will catch you later.